Are we live? Waiting for us to be live? Yes, guys. Just let me know when we are live so that we can start today's session of indirect taxes for the final level. Yes. Has the YouTube sent notification to all of you and have the students joined? Guys, just waiting for all to join. Start today's. Wonderful, wonderful. Good afternoon to all of you. So, guys, indirect taxes. We are discussing the heart and soul of indirect taxes, that is, of heart and soul of GST. That is, we are discussing the concept of input tax credit. I hope you have understood the concept till this point of input tax credit. Very, very good afternoon. Yes. So, input tax credit, four conditions should be satisfied to claim input tax credit. Four conditions were there. I'm used to say four conditions. Now there are not four conditions actually. Now there are six conditions to be satisfied to claim input tax credit. All of you know what are the six conditions. Yes, we discussed yesterday six conditions. The main condition is that the person who wants to claim ITC, he should be in possession of tax invoice. Okay, the goods or services should be actually received. Okay, then obviously the details of such invoice should be filed in the GSTR 1 by the supplier, and that should be reflected in GSTR 2A of recipient of supply. Correct? Could you recollect these conditions? Yes. Then what else were the conditions? That the return should be furnished by the, of course, the one who wants to claim ITC. Tax on the supply should be paid to the government. So when these conditions are satisfied, then ITC can be claimed. Yes, then ITC can be claimed. Okay, guys, then who can claim ITC? Just let me know who can claim ITC. Registered person can claim ITC. Okay, only and only registered person can claim ITC. Now, my point is, on what? On such goods or services which are purchased and which are supposed to be used in course or furtherance of business. On that, ITC can be claimed. Are you clear with these things till now? Yes, yes. And this whole ITC, whatever we claim, it gets credited to some ledger on the common portal. That ledger is called as e-credit ledger. Okay. Now, after that, I hope you have also understood what is bill to ship model. Bill to ship model means, yes, bill to ship model means what happens that uh, the recipient of supply asks the supplier to send goods to some third party. Now when third party receives the goods, it has deemed that recipient of supply has received the goods, and accordingly the condition that he should have actually received the goods gets satisfied, and he can claim ITC. So I hope all these things are very clear to you. We had discussed one proviso. What is that proviso? That proviso is, yes, if goods are received in lots or in installments, then ITC can be claimed only on receipt of last lot or installment. Okay, means goods you are receiving against one invoice in lots or in installments, ITC can be claimed only on receipt of last lot or installment. So quickly let me know whether this section 16 you have got a glimpse of. Section 16, which is eligibility and conditions for claiming ITC. Is it clear to you till this point? Can we go ahead and solve the questions? I think we have discussed two questions. We are supposed to solve those questions today, isn't it? Now, obviously, since this is a main batch, we go in depth and we literally ask you to practice the things along with us. It's not sufficient, just to go through the provisions. We should literally solve the questions, isn't it? So, yes, let's go to the two questions which we had discussed yesterday. We are supposed to solve them today. So, I'm opening the questions. Check. On page number 20, page number 20, question number 2. Okay, chalo, let's see. You remember that question, so I'm not again going in, explaining you that question, but obviously, as we write it point by point, it will be again revised for you. Chalo. So if someone was not there yesterday, no need to worry. You will understand every point today via these questions. So first of all, we are dealing with question number 2 and question number 3. These questions. Then we are going to go further in section 16. First of all, let me know in chat window. Are you sitting with notebook, dedicated notebook for IDT? Yes or no? That's my first question. Are we sitting with dedicated notebook for indirect taxes? Yes or no, guys? Because this notebook is going to be most critical thing, okay, in your success. It is going to ensure that you know you find IDT easy. Yes, wonderful. Let's start, guys. You have to calculate input tax credit admissible. You have to calculate input tax credit admissible. Okay. So give the heading, question number 2, question number 2, page 20 from GST additional questions. Okay, we have made a lot of question banks. From that, it is, yes, question 2, page 20, GST additional questions. Give the heading, computation of input tax credit admissible. Computation of input tax credit, that is ITC admissible for ABC Limited. For ABC Limited, for ABC Limited, for month of, which month? For month of September 2020. Computation of ITC admissible for ABC Limited for the month of September 2020. Isn't it? Yes. So, particulars, and I want a very small amount columns, a bigger particulars column. So, particulars amount in terms of rupees. Yes. Let us start. A point. In A point, what is the problem? In A point, what is the issue? In A point, goods are purchased without invoice. So, please mention there, goods purchased without invoice, goods purchased without invoice. Okay, ITC cannot be claimed. ITC cannot be claimed. Why it cannot be claimed? ITC cannot be claimed as it is condition, as it is condition of section 16 subsection 2 clause A of CGST Act, that in order to claim ITC, that in order to claim ITC, the registered person, means recipient of supply, the registered person should be in possession of invoice, should be in possession of invoice. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. So what we ensure, in the class, that no, I mean, you should not need to do any extra writing practice, etc., etc. That all should happen along with class itself. That's why going in so much depth. Okay. Next, goods purchased from PQR, goods purchased from PQR, but problem is PQR has not paid, deposited the tax to the government. Goods purchased from PQR Limited, goods purchased from PQR Limited, where PQR Limited did not deposit, did not deposit, did not deposit GST to the government. Agreed? So just mention here, ITC cannot be claimed. ITC cannot be claimed as, section 16 subsection 2, which clause? Clause C states that, tax on the supply should be paid to the government. States that tax on supply should be paid to government. Should be paid to government. Okay? Yes. So, dash, please don't claim ITC. Sir, we are in final. Why should you show us the presentation? I mean, don't be in that notion. You are at final, but you want to score the marks. Isn't it? You should know the presentation. Only by knowing the provisions, I would say 50% of the task is done. The other 50% task is, yes, executing those provisions systematically in the exam. At your, at your earlier level, you had a lot of MCQs. Now there are no MCQs. Now you have to, face the descriptive paper. So we have to prepare you for that. Hence, this whole attempt of presenting the things for you. Next, purchase of goods not to be used for business purpose. Purchase of goods not to be used for business purpose. Not to be used for business purpose. Okay. Purchase of goods not to be used for business purpose. No ITC can be claimed. No ITC can be claimed. As ITC is available, as ITC is admissible, only on goods or services, only on goods or services to be used in course, or furtherance of business. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. Next, fourth point, What is the fourth point? Fourth point is purchase of goods from TT Limited. Invoice of TT Limited is received in September, but goods were received in month of October. Yes. Purchase of goods from TT Limited. From TT Limited. Invoice received. Only invoice is received now. Can you claim ITC in September? No. Invoice received in September 2020, but goods in October 2020. So be very clear about the point that ITC cannot be claimed. ITC cannot be claimed in September 2020. We are talking about ITC for the month of September, mind you. Check here. So ITC cannot be claimed for in the month of September 2020, as in order to claim ITC, he should have actually received the goods. He should have actually received the goods. Is it clear to all of you? Yes. Next. And lastly, in the last point where you yesterday had doubts, so we'll now present that last point where some of you had doubt yesterday. Goods purchased against valid invoice from FF Limited. Tax has been deposited by FF Limited. ABC Limited has made payment to FF Limited for such purchase. It doesn't matter. As I told you, it doesn't matter when recipient of supply makes payment to supplier. As per the basic conditions, it doesn't matter. So, goods purchased from FF Limited. From FF Limited, where all conditions of section 16 subsection 2 for claiming ITC are satisfied. So please claim ITC. So 36,000. Okay, what you will specifically mention is the fact that recipient of supply made payment to supplier in next month does not affect ITC. The fact that recipient of supply made payment to supplier in subsequent month does not affect ITC. Okay, so therefore total ITC admissible. So what is total ITC admissible for September? So therefore total ITC for September 2020, it is 36,000. Clear? So once you complete it, please let me know in the chat window so that we can go ahead to next provision. Yes. Is 16(1) clear to you? Yesterday we discussed. Is 16(2) clear to you? All 6 conditions. And even the first proviso. And also we have solved one question on 16(2). So are all the things clear to you till this point? Shall we go ahead for discussing the other 2 provisos? There is proviso number 2 and proviso number 3 in this 16(2). Yes. So let's go ahead, guys, for discussion of further part. So, second proviso, we are now discussing second proviso. To which section? To section 16, subsection 2. Okay, please understand carefully what I am saying. We are discussing that A has sold goods to B. You remember we are discussing ITC for this B. Yes. A has sold goods to B for 1 lakh plus 18,000 GST. 1,18,000. Okay. So if you have seen the conditions, is there any condition that recipient of supply should make payment to supplier in so and so time? Is there any such condition? Tell me. Is there such a condition that recipient of supply should make payment to supplier in so and so time, then only he can claim ITC? Is there any such condition? There is no such condition, isn't it? There is absolutely no such condition. So a proviso now says, listen to this proviso carefully. This proviso says recipient of supply should make payment to supplier within 180 days from the date of invoice. How many days, guys? This recipient of supply should make payment to supplier. Recipient of supply, that is B, should make payment to A within 180 days from the date of invoice. From date of invoice. Did you understand what the proviso says? And main thing that proviso says is, if not paid within 180 days, then what will happen? So ROS should make payment to supplier within 180 days from date of invoice. If not paid, then government says, if not paid, then government says that how much is ITC that you have claimed as B? 18,000 is your ITC. That is A's output tax. That is your ITC. Yes or no? Government says if not paid, then amount equal to ITC availed. Then amount equal to ITC availed. Equal to ITC availed shall be added to output tax. You know, it shall be added to output tax along with interest. It shall be added to output tax along with interest on it. Mind you guys, that interest will be of past 180 days. Did you understand the proviso? What is the proviso saying? If So, government is saying that payment should happen in 180 days. If not paid, then amount equal to ITC availed shall be added back to the output tax along with interest. So assume that here invoice date was today's date. Yes, that is, say it was 21st March 2023. Now within how many days B should pay to A minimum, at least within how many days B should pay to A according to the proviso. According to proviso, it should pay, check, March 31 minus 10. March remaining days are 10, April 30, May 31, June 30, July 31. How many days are done? 10 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30 plus 31. 132 days are done. I will need August also, 31. Now 163 are done. Here 163 are done. So on September 17th, do you agree? On September 17th, 180 days will be done. So 181st day will be 18th September. Do you agree? It will be 18th September 2023. So on 18th September 2023, what should happen? This amount equal to this should become output tax. Agreed? It should be added to output tax. On what date? On 18th September. If it remains unpaid, then this is the consequence. Understood? What's the logic? What is government trying to say? Government is trying to say that if as a recipient of supply, if you are not paying in 180 days, that means we are not convinced that it's a valid purchase. We are not convinced it's a valid purchase. So we want you to disallow the ITC. Now we cannot go back and disallow the ITC. We cannot go back in past and disallow the ITC. So government says the effect of taking ITC was that net GST payable had gone down. Okay, 180 days earlier, net GST payable had gone down. So now increase your net GST payable. How can you increase your net GST payable? By adding to your output tax. Yes. By adding to your output tax. Agreed? Yes or no? Tell me quickly whether you understood this proviso. Tell me whether you understood this proviso. Yes or no? One 181st day, you have to add back the amount in this example of 18,000 rupees along with interest. Yes. So I think you have understood this. We will go to next point. Next is the third proviso now, guys. So 16.1 done. 16.2 we are doing. 16.2 had 6 conditions for claiming ITC. Now 16.2 also has 3 provisos. First proviso, you understood that goods received in lots of installments ITC can be claimed only on receipt of last lot of installment. Yes. Second, you understood that this proviso, that payment, when payment of what? Payment of value plus GST. This 1,18,000. So payment of what? Payment of value plus GST. Okay. Payment of value plus GST. So when payment of value plus GST is not done in 180 days from date of invoice, then amount equal to ITC availed will be added back to the output tax as a punishment. Okay. Yes. Now there is third proviso. What is third proviso saying? Tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. In this example, B is taking goods from A. Why is B taking goods from A? Finally, it is for the purpose of business only. Yes or no? Finally, it is for the purpose of business only. But currently, immediately B is not paying to A. But sometime in future, B will pay to A. B will correct his mistake. Yes or no? So say after 8 months, finally B paid to A. So in your opinion, now should B get ITC? Should B again get ITC? What do you think? Tell me your opinion. Should B be entitled for ITC? If he pays to A, post, post sometime he pays. Afterwards, sometimes he pays. Should B be eligible to again claim ITC if he rectifies his mistake? Answer is obviously yes. Okay. So if subsequently recipient of supply makes payment to supplier, then he can again avail ITC. Okay. If subsequently recipient of supply makes payment to supplier, he can again avail ITC. Did you understand? So we took away that 18,000 rupees from B, but again we are giving it back to him. Okay. So example, now in above case, if B pays to A, rupees 1,18,000, that is value plus GST. In above case, if B pays to A 1,18,000 on 1st November 2023, then what will happen? Then B can again claim ITC or avail ITC of rupees. Yes, guys. Then B can again avail ITC of rupees 18,000. Honestly tell me in the chat window whether you understood the third proviso. Because third proviso is totally linked with second. Yes, whatever it is, let me know. If you have any doubt, I'll be more than happy to solve it. Because clarity at this point is very important. Yes. So let's go ahead, guys. let us go ahead. I hope you have understood the provision and completed it in your notebook as well. Okay, so this completes section 16 subsection 2. Now 16.3. Before going to 16.3, I would like to tell you one situation. Okay, you tell me your opinion on in that situation. There is A and there is B. As we are discussing from yesterday, there is A and there is B. This B is purchasing from A. Suppose machine. Suppose B is purchasing from A machine for rupees 10 lakhs. Let's increase its value to 10 lakhs. Okay. Plus GST of say 1,80,000. My simple question to you is, can ITC be claimed of 1,80,000? My simple question is, of this 1,80,000, of this GST on machine, can ITC be claimed? What do you think? Can ITC of this 1,80,000 be claimed? What is your opinion? Correct? Obviously, you can claim ITC of 1,80,000. Yes, you can claim ITC of 1,80,000 because this machine is nothing but your capital goods. What is the meaning of capital goods? Capital goods means, yes, capital goods means those goods which are again used in course of business and value of which is capitalized in the books. So yes, you can claim ITC of capital goods. There is no problem at all. You can claim ITC of 1,80,000. Then what is 16.3? Now, my next question to you would be, can we claim depreciation on this machine? Of course, yes, we can claim depreciation on this machine. Why not? We can claim depreciation on this machine. On how much amount we should claim depreciation? Depreciation as per income tax or depreciation under income tax. We should not say under as per, we should say under income tax. So depreciation under income tax, we should claim on what amount? My first option to you is 10 lakh, and my second option to you is 11,80,000. On what amount we should claim depreciation? 10 lakh or 11,80,000. So we should claim depreciation on 10 lakhs. Then we can also claim benefit of ITC. We should not claim on 11,80,000. Okay. If we claim on 11,80,000, we will not be able to claim ITC. In short, guys, depreciation is a benefit. Yes or no? Depreciation is a benefit. Yes, depreciation is a benefit. Why it is a benefit? Because of depreciation, what happens? PGBP goes down. Depreciation is benefit as because of it, PGBP, that is profits and gains from business or profession, goes down. Yes or no? Now guys, that benefit should be allowed on what figure? That benefit should be allowed on what figure? 10 lakhs or 11,80,000. Okay, so depreciation is benefit because of which PGBP goes down. Therefore, tax also goes down. Yes. So what should happen? So don't claim that benefit. Don't claim that benefit Do you agree with me? Don't claim that benefit on rupees 1,80,000. On that same 1,80,000, how many benefits will you claim? So don't claim that benefit on 1,80,000. Why? As on that, as on that, we are claiming benefit of ITC. As on that, we are claiming, benefit of ITC. Agreed? Now tell me, guys, which benefit is better? Which benefit would you like? ITC's benefit or depreciation's benefit? Yes. Which benefit would you like more? ITC's benefit or depreciation's benefit? Tell me, which is more beneficial? ITC is more beneficial or depreciation is more beneficial? No prizes for guessing. ITC is obviously more beneficial. In ITC, because of claiming ITC and because of using ITC, directly your output tax is going down. Your net GST payable is going down. Okay. But if you claim depreciation on that 180, say if you say, I don't want to claim ITC, on that full 1180, I will claim depreciation. Means on 180, also I will claim depreciation. What does it mean? It means that on that 180, you will take depreciation, say of 15%, which will be 27,000. That 27,000 will be reduced from your PGBP and therefore your total income. And on that, you will save tax. On 27,000, you will save tax. Better that you are here directly saving GST of 180. So obviously, what is beneficial? Directly claiming 180 is beneficial. Don't go for claiming depreciation on that. Never recommend it. When you have that option available, what to claim, always seek to claim what? Benefit of ITC. Did you get the point? Yes or no? So, so don't claim that benefit of on 1,80,000, as on that we are claiming benefit of ITC. That is what your 16.3 says. What your section 16 subsection 3 says? It strictly says that if depreciation under Income Tax Act, if depreciation under Income Tax Act is claimed on GST element or input tax element, GST element of capital goods, then ITC cannot be claimed. Then ITC cannot be claimed of such GST. Isn't it very logical? In short, guys, no double benefit. Is it clear to all of you? So in short, no double benefit. No double benefit of ITC also. Of ITC also and yes, of ITC also and depreciation also. Of ITC and depreciation on GST part. Is it clear to all of you? Please quickly let me know in the chat window. Is the point Clear to all of you? Yes, the point is very much clear. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's see one question based on this. Okay. Fourth question. We will just discuss the fourth question. See, X Limited, registered manufacturer, engaged in taxable supply of goods, procured the following goods during month of October 2020. Same has been capitalized in the books of accounts of X Limited. See, same has been capitalized in books of accounts of X Limited means all these goods we are talking about are capital goods. So yes, you can claim ITC. There is no issue. Determine amount of ITC available by giving necessary explanation for treatment of various items. A point. Electronic transformers used in factory. Can you claim ITC on this? Electronic transformers used in factory? Of course, yes. Why yes? Because see, used in factory, na? So there are such goods, value of which is capitalized in the books and they are used in factory. So of course they are capital goods. Go ahead and claim ITC. Okay. And specifically they have given you that these given figures are of input tax. So yes, claim ITC of 2,16,000. Okay. Somehow that B and C point. Okay. I will tell you what is C point. It is somehow not visible here. This C point was pollution control equipment. C point was pollution control equipment. So can you take ITC of pollution control equipment used in factory? Of course, yes, no problem. This point was machine used in factory. So of course, of that also you can take ITC. No problem. Problem is with which point? Check. The D point. D point is saying cap goods purchased on which depreciation has been taken on full value. Now, taking on full value was also okay. But point is including input tax. So can you claim ITC in the point D? Tell me guys. Can ITC be claimed in point D where as a purchaser of machine you have taken ITC of the GST part also of that machine? You cannot claim this benefit of ITC. You cannot claim this benefit of ITC. Do you agree with me? And just now we have learnt according to section 16 subsection 3 no ITC. Wonderful, wonderful. And last point, you have to apply some logic guys. Okay, there is a composition scheme, correct? There is a composition scheme in GST. What that person in composition scheme does, he sells the goods without charging output tax. Okay, so now in the E point, you have purchased capital goods from a person who has opted for composition scheme. So that person has not charged output tax. So you also cannot claim any ITC. You also cannot claim any ITC. So finally, ITC admissible in this case will be, take the total of amounts of which ITC is admissible: 2,16,000, 26,000, 2,34,000. Check and tell me what is the figure of ITC admissible in this case. And of course, when we present it, we will write common note for A, B, and C point, that those are the goods value of which is capitalized in the books of accounts. Okay, and those are used in course or furtherance of business. Hence, its ITC is admissible. Yes. So is the figure 4,76,000? Check and let me know. I am getting answer as 4,76,000. Are you getting the same answer? Check and tell me. Yes or no? Okay, great, good. So if any doubt, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to go ahead to 16.4. Slowly, steadily, this section 16 is getting done, which is eligibility and conditions of ITC. Very good, Monica ji, for the answer, 4,76,000. Wonderful, wonderful. Keep this involvement. Okay, let's go to 16.4. Guys, 16.4 is brand new section. Means the section is not brand new, but it is amended. So in short, effectively, it becomes a very fresh thing that can be asked and that you should know. Okay, tell me, I will ask you one question. What happens first? Do you first avail the ITC or do you first use the ITC? I had yesterday given you one analogy for that, one example for that. Do you first avail the ITC or do you first use the ITC? Obviously, first we will avail. After availing, we will use. I had given you example of me giving you check of 1 lakh rupees. Will you take that check directly to the mall and do the shopping? Or will you first deposit that check? Or will you first deposit that check in bank? Obviously, you will first avail that credit. You will avail that balance first. After availing, you can use it. So first comes availment. Now point is, if I give you that check, can you just keep the check with you and use it whenever you want? Or is there time limit for depositing the check? Or is there time limit for depositing the check with the bank? Yes, there is a time limit, isn't it, for depositing the check with the bank? Similarly, there is time limit for claiming input tax credit. There is a last date for claiming input tax credit. There is no last date for utilization, but there is last date for availment. Is the point clear to you? There is a time limit for availment of input tax credit. So 16.4 talks about time limit. 16.4 talks about time limit for availing input tax credit. Is the point clear to you? What 16.4 is talking about? Is it clear to you? It is talking about time limit. For availing that input tax credit, in the e-credit ledger. Okay. So with example, I would love to tell you what this time limit. Suppose, guys, suppose invoice date, suppose invoice date is 21st March 2023. Invoice date is suppose 21st March 2023. Then what you will do? Then you will calculate two dates. Okay. What happened is, ideally, guys, listen carefully. Ideally, you should take ITC in March itself, in March 23 itself, because invoice relates to the month of March 23. So ideally, you should immediately take the ITC. But say you have forgot to take the ITC. You forgot to take the ITC, or you have a doubt that should ITC be taken or not taken, because there are many times blocked credits also. So you have a doubt regarding admissibility of ITC. So somehow you don't take ITC for the month of March 23. Now when should you take the ITC? That is the question. So this 16.4 says that the last date or the time limit for availing ITC is 30th November. 30th November after the end of financial year to which the invoice pertains. So invoice pertains to which financial year? Invoice pertains to financial year 22-23. So which is 30th November after that? Isn't it? It is 30th November 23. Or, see, actually they wanted to give this date only. They wanted to actually give this date only. So logic is what? How many months from the end of financial year? From the end of financial year 22-23, we are talking about 8 months. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We are talking about 8 months good time limit after the end of financial year. Correct? So actually speaking, they wanted to keep this as the time limit. But guys, listen to me properly. It is not possible to make any changes for FY 22-23 after filing annual return under GST for that year. After filing annual return under GST for this year, you cannot make any changes for that year. That's why this date or actual date of filing annual return under GST. So what will they say? What will they say? They will say whichever is, they will say whichever is earlier. Getting it? They will say whichever is earlier. Now say in this example, it is 15th December 23. So obviously here last date will become, last date of ITC in this case will become, yes, 30th November 23. Do you agree with me? But if before 30th November 23 itself, by taking initiative, you file the annual return of GST, then that date will become the last day. Did you understand? 16.4. Let me know. If you have any doubt in any points in section 16, please let me know. Waiting for your doubts. If no doubt, you can just put thumbs up in the chat window so that I understand that we may proceed to the questions and then quick recap of section 16. Yes, guys. Monica ji, Santosh ji, Kaustav. Chalo, Kaustav ji, is it clear to all of you? Easy and important section, isn't it? Yes. Easy and important section. Fine. Wonderful. So to consolidate this concept, we'll go to some examples. First question, which we had kept pending. Yes, very good. First question, which we had kept pending. Read this question very carefully. Okay. XYZ Limited purchased goods valuing 6 lakhs. That's fine. Exclusive of CGST, SGST at 9% each. Okay, so it's going to be 54,000 each. Check. It's going to be 54,000 each. Under cover of invoice dated 25th December 2020. The company made payment to supplier on the same date. Okay. There was a doubt regarding admissibility of tax credit on such inputs. So the company did not take ITC at the time of receipt of input. Company obtained clarification from legal consultant who opined that goods were eligible as inputs. Okay, so you want to claim ITC. Opinion was received on 5th May 21. Question by company genuinely is that they want to claim ITC. The company now wants to avail ITC of tax paid on inputs. Can it do so? What do you think? Company has filed annual return on 12th August 21 for FY 2020-21. Yes, guys. So what has happened is in this question number 1, page number 12, GST additional questions. Correct, no? Page number I have written correctly, I hope. 20, sorry, 20. Okay. So what is the date of invoice? What is the date of invoice in this case? Date of invoice is 25th December 2020. Yes. For 25th December 2020 invoice, what would be the last date of claiming ITC? That we should find out. So 25th December 2020 would fall in financial year, of course, 2020-21. Agreed? Yes. So what will be last date as per 16(4) for claiming ITC? It will be earlier of 2. What 2? What 2? When did you, rather, which is the 30th November after 2021? Which is the 30th November after 2020-21? So of course, 2020-21 ends on 31st March 21. So November after that is 30th November 21. So you will compare that with actual date of filing annual return. Your actual date of filing annual return is 12th August 2021. Now guys, tell me till what date it was possible for you to take the credit? Till what date it was possible for you to take the credit? Tell me this. Last date of claiming ITC. In this case, I am waiting guys for your answer. So government had given time till 30 November after the end of the financial year to which the invoice pertains. That is 30 November 21 in this case, or actual date of filing annual return for 2021, which you have filed on 12th August 21. Yes. So what is the last date of claiming ITC in this case? It is 12th August 2021. Agreed? When I'm asking you questions, sometimes you may reply in the chat window. Okay, because I'm not asking all questions as formality. When I say that I'm waiting for you, yes, you have to answer. Yes, it will be 12th August 21. Very good, Monica ji. Santosh ji, check. Whichever is earlier we want. So 12th August 21. Agreed? Now, understand. When do we want to claim the ITC? This person has got a legal opinion on 5th May 21. On 5th May 21, can ITC be taken? Hence, of course, ITC may be availed on 5th May 21. It is within the time limit. As it is within time limit. As it is within time limit of section 16, subsection 4. Yes, guys. Tell me whether this provision is clear to all of you. This provision has been simplified by government, keeping the 30th November after the end of financial year to which invoice pertains as the clause. Earlier, the clause was bit to the extent of 5%, I would say, bit tricky. Now, though, it has become very straightforward. So, is 16.4 clear to you? Generously, you tell me in the chat window, comment box, whatever, live chat. I hope all of you have, of course, subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon. And of course, I am quite sure you have liked the video and you are going to share it with maximum people. Yes. So it's very technical, specialized subject, GST, customs. But yes, we are going in depth and doing it from practical understanding perspective. Every provision will be followed by one question. That makes it easy to understand. Yes, guys. So on one issue, the question is pending. We will do that as well. The issue on which question is pending is that of proviso 2 and 3. Do you remember? Otherwise, question on everything we have covered. This particular question which we covered right now was on 16.4. Okay. This question which we covered was on 16.2. Yes. This question was on first proviso. to 16.2. Okay. Then this question was on 16.3. So check. Now on proviso number 2 and 3, the question is pending. Let's do that. So go to the questions for self-assessment. In that questions for self-assessment, okay. Second question, this is actually second question. It should start with a company submits following information. It's on page number 25. Okay, page number 25. Company submits following information. Value of the goods is 5 lakhs. Value of the goods is 5 lakhs. CGST, SGST is 45,000 each. Okay. Point is, okay, I should tell you the date of invoice. It is somehow printing issue is there here. So I will tell you what was the date of invoice, then it will make sense. Wait, just give me 1 second. Then and then only the question will make sense. Yes. So date of invoice is 10th August 2020. Date of invoice is 10th August 2020. Please mention it. Date of invoice 10th August 2020. Okay. And a company who is recipient of specified goods. Company who is recipient of specified goods submits following information. Now is the question clear to all of you? Now is the question clear to all of you? Yes. So date of invoice is 10th August 2020. Value is given, GST is given. K does not make payment of 590, means 5 lakh plus 45 plus 45, 590 till 6th Feb 2021. Till 6th Feb 2021. Can you tell me what is the ITC that will be added to the output tax? First of all, we are talking about page 25. GST additional questions. What is the date of invoice? If you observe here, date of invoice Then date of invoices, yes, 10th August 2020. From 10th August 2020, you calculate 181st day. Okay. So you will say 180 days end on or expire on. So how will you calculate that? August remaining days are 21. September remaining days 30. October remaining days 31. November remaining days 30. December remaining days 31. So see, you have come up till 21 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30 plus 31. Only 143 till now. You will need full January 31. Now we come to 174. So February you will need 6 days, which will make it 180 days. So 180 days are expiring on 2nd Feb 2021. Agreed? 180 days are expiring on 6th February 2021. Now what I have given you, that the recipient of supply is not making payment to supplier till 6th Feb. Now what's the consequence of this? What is the consequence of this? That payment is not made by recipient of supply to the supplier within 180 days. So now what has to be done? You have to now apply proviso, second proviso. Second proviso to section 16 subsection 2. Isn't it? Payment of value of supply plus GST thereon is not made by recipient of supply to supplier. Isn't it? Is not made by recipient of supply to supplier within how many days? Within 180 days from date of invoice. Therefore, what is to be done now? Therefore, amount equal to ITC availed. Therefore, amount equal to ITC availed by recipient of supply how much is that? Check. That is rupees 45,000 each. That is rupees 45,000 each of CGST and SGST. Of CGST and SGST. Shall be added to output tax. You know it shall be added to output tax along with interest. Along with interest. If you want to know the rate of interest, it is at 18%. It is for last 180 days. Because from government perspective, it is as good as ITC unnecessarily taken. Is it clear to all of you? Once done, please say D in the chat window. So underlining or highlighting in exam, you'll underline exactly that part which was asked to you, that how much of output tax will be added, how much of ITC will be added to output tax. So amount equal to ITC availed is actually added. Yes. What about others? Have you completed it? Now, one more question. One more question. What shall be the treatment? The third question, which is adjoining to the second one. What shall be the treatment if in above illustration K makes payment of 5,90,000, that is value plus GST, to the supplier on 26th Feb 2021. So now comes third proviso. If subsequently payment is made of value plus GST to the supplier, then the recipient of supply can again avail ITC. So now we can again avail ITC of 45,000 each. Agreed? So now for the third question on page 25, what's the answer? Question 3, page 25, GST additional questions. Okay, this is according to that third proviso to section 16, subsection 2. If subsequently recipient of supply makes payment to supplier, if subsequently recipient of supply makes payment to supplier, then he can again avail ITC. Got it? Therefore, what's the name of that entity? K. Therefore, K can avail ITC of rupees. Yes, K can avail ITC of rupees 45,000 each of CGST and SGST on 26th Feb 2020, when he makes payment, when he makes payment of rupees 5,90,000 to the supplier. Guys, is it clear to you? Is the point very, very clear to all of you? Because this completes our availment of ITC, eligibility and conditions of availing the ITC. Yes. So now, if it is clear to all of you, we will go to quick revision of what we have done in ITC. Okay, and meanwhile, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask the doubts. So guys, we are talking about input tax credit. Means what happens usually, now look at it in a story form. Okay, there is one person, say he's dealing in selling plastic utensils. This person is manufacturing plastic utensils and is selling the plastic utensils. Okay, now to manufacture this plastic utensils, he will need raw material. Not only that, he will maybe need lot of machinery. He will need services of a chartered accountant to audit his entity. He will need services of company secretary. He will need services of cost accountant. He will need services of lawyer, and so many other services he will need. So many goods he will need. Okay, goods also for day-to-day use, like printing paper in the factory. So all these goods, all these services are called as inputs. Agreed? What example we are taking? A very simple example we are taking. There is a, yes, manufacturer of what? There is a manufacturer of plastic equipments, of plastic utensils. Okay. So what inputs he is needing? He is needing machine, means capital goods. He is needing plastic granules. He is needing stationery. He is needing CA services, CS services, CMA services, legal services, and so on. Okay. So all these we can call as inputs, capital goods, and input services. So these becomes inputs. These becomes inputs. This is your capital goods, and this is your input services. Agreed? Now all these efforts are being taken, and all these efforts are being taken for manufacturing finished goods. Yes or no? With all these efforts, you will manufacture finished goods. This finished goods will have a selling price. This finished goods will have a selling price. Selling price will comprise of cost plus profit. Selling price will comprise of cost plus profit. So don't you think that this cost includes cost of CG also, cost of inputs also, and cost of input services also? Now this CG, inputs, and input services, on all these things, on all these things, common thing is that GST is paid. Agreed? Common thing is that all these inputs and capital goods and input services are on that GST is paid. They are GST paid. Now this GST is paid by this manufacturer who is registered under GST. And by the way, his whole availment, his whole taking of this machine, plastic, stationery, these services, it's not for personal purpose. All this is for business purpose, which is giving rise to finished goods. And on that finished goods, selling price, accessible value, there is a GST. This GST is your nothing but output tax. Now, to pay that output tax, government says take set off of tax which you have paid at earlier stage. That tax at earlier stage is your GST paid here, which we term as input tax credit. Is it clear? So for claiming this input tax credit, there are conditions to be satisfied, which we have seen under section 16. Yes or no? For claiming this ITC, the conditions are given in section 16. Who can claim this ITC? Only and only a registered person can claim this ITC. Only and only a registered person can claim this ITC. Do you agree with me? Yes. What all conditions are to be satisfied? Number one, that this manufacturer, whether he's talking about capital goods, inputs, input services, he should be in possession of the invoice of that purchase. These goods or services should be actually received. Yes, they should be actually received. Then the tax on the supply should be paid to the government. Okay, return should be furnished. GST return should be furnished. This information should be given. Then what else are the conditions? That the suppliers of this, so there is a person, there are a lot of people supplying this. There's a supplier sitting here of these things. Supplier of these things should file the details of their sales in GSTR 1. In GSTR 1. So they can be reflected in this manufacturer's GSTR 2A. And he can claim its ITC. So when the ITC is claimed, it gets deposited in e-credit ledger. Okay. Then of course you have understood the 3 provisos also that was done today itself. You have understood that on this machine, you should claim depreciation, no problem, but you should claim depreciation on value excluding GST. Yes, you should claim depreciation on value excluding GST. And of all this GST paid, you should take ITC, but within time limit. Within time limit. What's that time limit? It is within time limit of section 16, subsection 4. Got it? Any doubt, guys? Any doubt in section 16? Because otherwise, we are going to conclude today's session, and in tomorrow's session, topic of discussion will be how to use the ITC. The ITC which we have availed has to be used to pay output tax. How to use that is going to be topic of tomorrow's discussion. But before that, you please let me know. Before that, please let me know whether things are very clear to all of you, including the presentation part. Yes or no, guys? Including the presentation part. Yes. Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, yes. Just waiting for your reply. That are the things clear to all of you. By the way, I hope you have understood bill to ship model also. My simple question to you is, can bill to ship happen in case of services also? Yes or no? Can bill to ship happen in case of services also? Yes, bill to ship can happen in case of services also. Sir, how? How can bill to ship happen for services? So bill to ship model. So obviously there is no shipping as such in case of services, but still colloquially we can call it as bill to ship in case of services. So let me just explain you that. Otherwise, afterwards you will get confused. how can build to ship happen in case of services? Just one example I'm giving you. Suppose what happened is, you have an event at your home. You have event at your home. So what you did is, um, you went to event management company. You told them about details of the event, and they said, okay, we will do this event. What we will charge you is 6 lakh rupees. You're all set to give them the contract. But the event management company says, we don't do catering. Event management company says, we don't do catering. So you say, no, 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 no. We want catering also from you only. Okay, we want catering from you only. So what happens is, event management company, don't want to lose their business. So they say, okay, we will give you catering. But they are not expert in catering. They are not expert in catering. So what happens is, they outsource the catering. Okay. So now what happens? Catering agency, catering agency is going to give service to event management company, to event management company, and event management company is going to give service to end customer. Got it? Let's call this catering agency as, say, X, event management company as EMC, and end customer as EC. Now see how it will look like. This is the arrangement, we know that. But how this arrangement will look like? Check how this arrangement will look like. If you keep event management company here, okay, sorry. If you keep catering company here, catering company will do billing on event management company. They will do billing on event management company, but physically they will give service to whom? They will be present in whose event? They will be present in the event of, they will be present in the event of end customer. So actual service they will give to, they will give to end customer, but they will do the billing on event management company. Why so? Why so? Because catering company is charging event management company 4 lakh rupees. Event management company is charging end customer 10 lakh rupees, including for catering. Including for catering. Getting it? So guys, event management company should get ITC of this 4 lakhs. Event management company should get ITC on 4 lakhs. Do you agree? Thank you so much, Kaustav. Kaustav ji is saying splendid session. Thank you. It is because of extraordinary students like you. It's because you take interest that session becomes interesting. So in this case, what happens? Who will be able to claim ITC? In such case, EMC, event management company, shall be deemed to have received the service, shall be deemed to have received the service when such service is received by, when such service is received by end customer. Is it clear to you? Is this illustration clear to you? Tell me, guys. So bill to ship can happen also in case of, yes, also in case of services. That's what I wanted to tell you. So guys, once done, we can end today's session. Thank you. See you tomorrow for utilization of input tax credit. Don't miss the session. There are going to be a lot of sums that we are going to solve in tomorrow's session. Thank you. And of course, do share this news that yes, such batch is happening. MEPL is coming up with such batches. The batches of other subjects also happening of CS professional. Do follow that. You will get all the information on this channel. Keep this channel subscribed. Keep the bell icon pressed. And of course, I'm quite sure you must have liked the video. Thank you so much for that. Bye bye. If any doubts, please do post on this in this comments. I'll be more than happy to address them. Yes. Bye guys. Bye guys. Bye. Thanks. Bye.